Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. It's been a while. I've been very busy. Um, so I thought it's about time I jumped on and give everyone a little update. And we started to talk about the World Club Cup, which starts tomorrow. First of all, I've just come back from South Africa. For those of you that follow me and watch the Big Six show, the Big Six show went out to South Africa. We've got quite a lot of fans of the show in South Africa, so we decided to go out there and basically meet the fans. It was an absolutely amazing trip. I wasn't too sure what to expect from South Africa before I went, but I went with it, and it was totally different. Unbelievable place, the scenery, the people. We did some filming on South African TV, show sport, some football debates. They loved it. People were recognizing us in the malls and stuff like that. It's a big YouTube sort of place. You know what I mean? A lot of the Premier League football teams haven't been to South Africa before. Since Nelson Mandela died, I think that the attraction of South Africa's, it's not been there for the Premier League. There's no money there. But that doesn't mean there's no fans there. I mean, we went to the event and the City fans were out in force. There were expats there from Main Road coming to see me. There was new fans there. There was loads of City shirts. We were singing songs and all that. It was amazing, to be fair. And if you aren't following the Big Six on YouTube, go and follow the Big Six show. The documentary will be out in a couple of weeks, so you'll definitely get to see what we got up to. We went on safari. We shot some guns. We did all sorts of stuff out there. So it's definitely worth a watch. So if you're not subscribing to the Big Six show, go and subscribe to it. The only downside to it was me trying to be an 18-year-old on the last couple of days. We jumped off the pier where we were staying into the dam and tore my calf muscle. So at the minute, I've been to hospital. I've got a grade 2 calf muscle tear. I've got a bit of a boot on it, and my leg is black. So it doesn't rain, it pours, but I was just glad I managed to finish all the activities we had planned before this happened. So the last couple of days were a bit of a graft, but I'm back and I'm trying to work it out and I'm getting it strapped up and I'm going forward. But anyway, Manchester City, the World Club Cup has started. I don't know what you guys think about it. I've watched a couple of games. I feel like the South American teams are a lot more entertaining than the European teams. I think the European teams are treating it as like a little bit of a pre-season game. The intensity doesn't seem to be that high. But then I've watched the South American teams and they're like blood and thunder, you know what I mean? We got our first game tomorrow against Wydad. I think they're from Casablanca, which is Morocco. Going to be very interesting to see what team Pep picks. I'm ready for a meltdown. Do you know what I mean? We've got these new signings coming in, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And then Pep might go with the old guard again and just, stink the gaff out. So, it's very interesting to see what will happen. But let's get on the new signings. We all knew we needed players. I think Wirtz was top of the list. For whatever reason, he's gone to Liverpool, whether he's turned us down or we've backed out because of the money, etc. I don't know. I mean, Florian Wirtz is a fantastic player, and I'm sure he would have been brilliant for us. But we had to move on. So we pulled the trigger on 8 Nouri from Wolves, Reijnders from AC Milan, and Rayan Cherki from Lyon. I mean, just over 100 million for them free is good business. Hugo Viana's come in. Looks like we're going in a slightly different direction. And I mean, you can't fault him. Pierre Naipan from Rosenborg, I think, is going to sign a young kid. We've signed that young striker from Paris Saint-Germain. These two are very, very young. I think that both of them will go out on loan. But as far as the first team goes, 3 solid signings. I don't know what you guys think, but I think, I'm happy with it. Looking at the squad, though, we do look heavy. We've got Jack Grealish and Calvin Phillips that have been left out of the squad. I understand Calvin because you know that he's not going to be part of anything. We've been trying to get rid of him for a couple of seasons, but Jack Grealish, his time at Manchester City looks like it's come to an end. And me, I've always been a fan of Jack. I've always liked him. I've always thought that there was more for Jack inside to give. The best season we had out of him was a treble season by far. I think he played 50 odd games, and he did okay that season. And obviously the trophies don't lie. But there just seems to be something wrong with him and Pep. The relationship has soured this season. There's been many a game this season where Jack Grealish could have come on and done something. We all agree on that. And he chose not to. He's phased him out. I mean, it's very, very sad. I don't want to see Jack, like that. I think Jack Grealish has got a part at Manchester City. I feel like, when we've been crying out for creativity in the middle of the park, I think Jack Grealish has been sat on the bench and he could have done it. But Pep's got his own mind. He's got his own ideas and it's come to a bit of a sad end. But me, for one, I wish Jack Grealish all the best. I thank him for the memories. And I feel like, he's probably going to look back on his time at City and think, could he have done any more? Well, if he was allowed to play, maybe. But at the end of the day, he's had the best time. He's won trophies. I just feel like Jack needs to go somewhere now and get back to playing football, get back to loving the game, get a smile on his face, get playing football week in, week out, and go and enjoy it. And like you say, he'll always be fondly remembered at Manchester City, the treble celebrations. I mean, I celebrated with him when we won the treble in town, and he was brilliant with me, and he's always been good with me. So I wish him all the best. Calvin Phillips as well, lovely fella. We all wanted Calvin to succeed. I don't think he was quite good enough. I don't know where he's going to end up this season. He's another one. Needs to go and play regular football. The defence is looking bulky. I think there's a lot of players, that are getting towards the end of the careers, like injury-wise. John Stones, we've not been able to keep fit. Nathan Ake's picking up little niggles. Akanji was injured and that. There's 3 players there where I don't think the 3 of them can stay. I think someone's got to go. I don't know what you guys think. But with Kuzanov coming in, Reyes, Diaz, Gvardiol, Ake, Stones, Akanji, Nunes for fullback. There's going to be some very disappointed players, not even in the matchday squad. So I feel like City are going to have to trim it a little bit. But the signing of Cherki, he's a bit of a maverick. We do love a maverick at Manchester City. I hope Pep lets him play and express himself, which I think he will. I feel like this narrative of like, oh, Pep's going to turn him into a sideways passer, I don't think you will do with this guy. You know what I mean? If he's got anything about him and his agent, that these are the questions they would have asked. I feel like last season we were crying out for a player that could, open the door. There were so many teams sitting in low blocks against us and we wasn't able to get through. Erling Haaland was cutting a frustrated figure. It was very, very side-to-side laboured. You know what I mean? I feel like Phil Foden, we all know he had a disappointing season, Phil, but I feel like there was times where Phil needed a player like Cherki, someone who's got a little bit of something about him, who can play like street football, who can pass the ball into Phil in tight spaces, them little 1-2s that they were giving, give and go. I think that's Phil Foden's game, and I think that will bring the best out of Phil. If you've got Phil Foden in a pocket, you've got Ilkay Gundogan and Kovacic with the ball, or Ruben Diaz and Kanji on the edge of the box. I don't think they're brave enough to slot that ball in that gap. Whereas I think Cherki is clever enough to do that. So I'm hoping not only was Rayan Cherki at the ground running, but I think he brings the best out of a few players. Also, the big thing about next season is Rodri. You know what I mean? We saw him come back at the end of the season. He's ticking over. I've seen him training. He looks like he's at full speed now. Getting Rodri back 100% is going to be massive. Absolutely massive. And if anyone thinks that Manchester City are finished, then I said it on the Big Six show, you're going to be mistaken. This football club does not let the levels drop. And we've brought the reinforcements in. We've got Rodri back. We're looking solid. From a Diaz-Guardiola partnership at centre-half, to a Reijnders Rodri in the middle, to a Mamouche Haaland up top. You know what I mean? The spine of the team's looking solid. And Pep's just now got to figure out the system. You know what I mean? He's got to find a system that works. You know, last season he was very, very awkward. Some games we played with two wingers. We looked like we were playing well with width. Then the next game we'd have no width and it'd all be down the middle and very, very centralised and side to side to side. And people were getting frustrated. So I feel like Pep's got to change. I think it was a big learning curve for him. I think he's had that much success. He was riding a nice wave. But I feel like now that he's had a bit of a kick in the balls, then he might have to rethink his own strategy. He's obviously lost backroom staff. He's brought in Pep Linders, the ex-Jurgen Klopp assistant at Liverpool. Colo Torre's in there. So he's freshened up his own backroom staff as well as the team. So it's got a good feel about it. Let's just hope it all gels. Let's hope it all comes together. And basically we hit the ground running. This World Club Cup, I feel like some players probably do need a rest. We're treating this as our pre-season. We just got to hope that we're ready. You know what I mean? Come the first game of the season, we got to hope that we're up to full pelt and we're ready to go. Because this Premier League is very, very unforgiving. If you lose a couple of games early doors, your season could be over. You know what I mean? The title could be over. That's how close it gets. So we've got to make sure we're on it. We've got to make sure the players are ready. And we've got to make sure, the fans are ready for it. Big up to all the fans that have gone out to America. I did contemplate it myself, but after South Africa and this injury now, I think that's put a block to that. I'm just going to wait till the season starts. One blessing is we don't have to play the Charity Shield. That is a cursed shield for us. And it's just a ball ache going to Wembley before the season starts it's a non-starter, you know what I mean? So at least we don't have to deal with that. The fixtures are out on Wednesday, tomorrow. I think I'm live on ESPN in the morning, reacting to the fixtures. So I'm looking forward to that. And I just want to say, rest in peace to Shez, big Manchester City fan who passed away recently. I'm sure you've seen all the tributes pouring in for him. Well, we had a fun day on Sunday in Wythenshawe. Me and Eddie Stewart, we managed the Manchester City fans 11 versus the Black Boy pub in Wythenshawe. And the turnout was amazing. There was well over 1,000 people watching the match. Obviously, if you've seen the socials, the Man City fan team, we won 5-3. It was a great game of football. Anyone that watched it, it was a really entertaining game of football. Big up to all the lads who played for us for the City team. They put a shift in. Everyone got a game, including Shez's daughter. Got the cameo at the end. Got to lift the trophy, so that was fantastic. And a big shout out to the Black Boy in Wythenshawe, who, they're a good side. They're a good Sunday League side. They came and it was a great game of football, played in good spirits. They had a five-a-side tournament going on the other pitch as well, with lots of Blues playing in that. And then they had a big bit of a fun day back at the Black Boy pub, which I nipped back to. That was hammered. They raised a lot of money for him, for his family and stuff. So it just shows you what the Manchester City community and the fans are like. We always look after our own, and then that's one thing I've always been proud of. If there's ever been a tragedy that's hit the fan base or something that has not been right, this football club and the fans always pull together, and we always stick together and raise some money in that, and which is absolutely brilliant. And I'll always go to these events if I can make it. And like I say, I was limping a bit on Sunday, but I managed to get there, and we got the win. So we were definitely drinking the Black Boy tears, the rival tears, Sunday night. So that was a good one. But anyway, people, let me know what you think about the new signings. The right back situation has come up a lot. Looking at what I think we've got Cousinov, who could maybe be a right back. We've got Nunez, who towards the end of the season looked like a right back. We've got Manuel Akanji. Is that enough, or is he going to get a dedicated right back? We've been linked with Livramento, but Newcastle are in a good position. They've just won the Carabao Cup. I don't think they need to sell anybody, so it's going to be hard to get him away from there. Is there anyone in the youth team, under 21 team, that could maybe break through as a right back? Is Rico Lewis's days over as a right back? Where do you see Rico in this team? So if you look, we have got quite a few options there. So I'm not sure we buy a right back. I'm not sure we do. But you just never know. Something might come up in the market late in the day. City might pull the trigger on it. You know what I mean? But will be very interesting to see how we go against these teams and see if we can, you know, start playing some good football. I'm definitely excited to see Cherki. Reijnders as well. The reputation he's had, everyone's saying he's a great player. So I'm looking forward to that. Sprinkling a bit of Ilkay Gundogan, Phil Foden. Do you know what I mean? Players like that. Nico Gonzalez. We have got numbers in there now, and we do look like we've got a decent squad. Savinho, Jeremy Doku. But I said it last season, it's all about the big man for me. If you sign Erling Haaland on a 10-year deal, for me, he's your kingpin. He's the striker that everyone's looking up to. We need to find a way of playing to his strengths. You know what I mean? And I think last season we didn't do enough of it. So I'm looking forward to that. What else was I going to speak about? The ticket situation. Good news. It came out that the club have dropped the general admission prices between 30 and 60 pounds. Very, very reasonable. You know what I mean? It's very, very reasonable, that. And I feel like everyone involved in the protests, everyone involved with a dialogue with the club, City Matters, the Food Bank Group, the Union Blues, everybody else that got involved in it, and all the supporters that stayed behind under the concourse to protest. It just proves that things do happen. You know what I mean? When you do protest right. We didn't smash the souvenir shop up. We didn't chain ourselves to the fucking fence. We didn't cause murders and sit in the ground. We did it right. And you've got to big up everyone that got involved. And like you say, the City Matters have gone to the table. The clubs had dialogue with them. And it's worked. So out of these protests, we have got reduced ticket prices. We have got more season tickets. And we got frozen season ticket prices. So we have got a result there. You know, some people will never be happy. People will always want more. Me personally, I think it's good. I think we've got enough there that we fought for to move forward. And I think we should put it to bed. Get on with the season and see how we go. And like you say, now we've got a line of communication through City Matters and the club. Anything else pops up in the season, we've got to go down the right channels, talk it out at the table, come up with a solution. It's the best way forward for me. Just want to give a big shout out to Daps as well, who is running the other channel, We Are the South Stand. If you're not subscribed to our other channel, at We Are the South Stand, he's been soldiering through while I've been swanning off. He's been doing his morning shows. The numbers are growing really well over there. Everything Manchester City related news he's doing. So get yourself over there and support the channel. I'll be on it a lot more now this season. So if you want your regular fix of me and Daps waffling and talking everything Man City, go over there and follow it. And I want to appreciate everyone that's messaged me over the pre-season. I've not been doing the content I should be doing. I always get to the end of the season, it gets like this. So I feel like a stuck record. I am going to promise to get on a little bit more and churn some more content out. But I just want to appreciate your support. Like I say, people messaging me, people supporting me, TikToks, events, anything I do, everyone gets behind me. So I'm really, really grateful for that. All I'm going to say is we'll touch base after the first World Club Cup game. Let's see if Manchester City can get a win, and let's see what kind of performance and team Pep picks. And everybody enjoy your break, enjoy your pre-season, spend some time with a family. You know, football is a big part of a lot of people's lives, and it does get in the way. Do you know what I mean? So this is the time when it's not around that you can get things done. You know, fix the fucking wardrobe. You know, do the garden. All that shit you don't want to do in the season, you get to do this in pre-season. So you got to respect it. But other than that, people, I'm going to go. I'm going to have a little bit of breakfast and get on with my day. Start doing my exercises and physio on this dodgy calf. And I'm going to move forward. But please hit a like on the stream. Please leave me a message. I'll get through all the messages and I'll get back to you. And yeah, big season ahead. We want our title back. Come on, the Blues.